Welcome to this edition of Pillows on Prayer, where we go through the shemoneh esrie line by line. But first, we're going to look at today the bracha of ritzei, which is the opening to the last section of shemoneh esrie, which is gratitude hodah. And we're going to look at two themes of the bracha. The first is tefillah and avodah, prayer and service, which is what this focuses on, specifically in the Beis Hamikdash. And the second is the idea of gratitude. Those are the two themes that we have. So the first idea is the idea of karbanos, of animal offerings that were given in the temple, and that, please God, will be given again soon. The idea behind them is a famous debate between the Rambam and the Ramban, where the Rambam says that karbanos don't have any inherent value, animal offerings don't have any inherent value. Rather, that was you couldn't imagine religion without animal offerings, and that's why they were instituted. The Ramban says no, there is inherent value in having animal offerings, and that's the idea that it comes to show that when we have an error, whether it be in our actions or in our speech, that this korban is in place of really the execution that we should have to go through, and it reflects the errors that we have. In our times, we don't have animal offerings, and prayer acts as a substitute. How does prayer act as a substitute for animal offerings? So if we take the Rambam's approach about how there's no real inherent value to karbanos, so then man is looking for a comfortable way of serving God, prayer it acts as that comfortable way. Now, we prayed, according to everybody, we still prayed when there were animal offerings. It's not that this is a new thing, but today our prayers take on extra significance. According to the Ramban, prayer acts as a good substitute because the act of prayer is avoiding the instinctual, and you enter into this purely abstract time and rendezvous with God. The second idea is gratitude, and the question you have to ask is there a value in gratitude in and of itself? And from the writings of the Rambam, it would seem that especially when it comes to making brachos, the idea of gratitude isn't an end of itself, but rather it helps us stay aware of God. That throughout the day we're supposed to be reminded that there is a God, and that we should relate to that God. And one of the ways that we do that is through gratitude, by offering praise and by offering thanks to God. We're aware of Him, and that's the second idea in this bracha. Let's look at let's go through the words of the bracha. Ritzei Hashem Elokeinu bi'amecha Yisrael v'sfilasam. So we start off by saying that God should desire and should be pleased with the avoda and the tefillah of His people. It's an interesting concept because God doesn't really have desire like we do. He can't be pleased in the same way that man can when his desire is filled, but rather it's how we understand it, right? How we understand God's commands. God told us to relate to Him. God told us to pray to Him, and we're doing that, and we hope that we've done it successfully, and we call that His desire. So we say that God, please let it be, our prayer should be desirous to You. And then we go on, we say, V'hasheves avodo l'dverisecha, that even though we know we don't have karbanos now, we don't have animal offerings now, but we hope you will return it to your house, meaning to the Beis Hamikdash. V'yishe Yisrael v'sfilasam b'havas gabel baratzon. And that our prayers will be accepted with love. And we've discussed this before. The idea of love means that it's building that relationship with God. That idea that when God accepts our prayers and accepts it in love, that's our way of saying that it's done successfully, and it's achieved its objective of creating that relationship with God. And we pray that our prayers are always and our service is always accepted to God. But we end off the chasim. A lot of people think that this line is part of the bracha of modim. It's not. It's the end of ritzei. We say v'sechazena einenu b'shuva chalatzion barachamim. But we ask again that we returned to Yerushalayim, sechazena einenu, that God's eyes should come back to Zion, and again in a way that's merciful. We discussed this a couple of brachos ago. That it's a way that doesn't cause us too much suffering. And it seems to us that God has done it mercifully, and that's how we want God's Shekhinah to return to Yerushalayim, so that we can understand God. Baruch atah Hashem. We end the bracha off by saying, God, You're the source of all blessing. HaMachazir Shechinaso L'Tzion, the one who will return his Shekhinah, his divine presence, to Zion, to Yerushalayim, and that way we'll be able to understand him. Okay, have a great day.